It has got to be one of the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my entire life. This has got to be one of the most impulsive decisions I've ever made, if not the most. Because I'm this one person, before I make any decision, and make sure that I collect as much information about the subject as I can. But this time around, I don't know what happened. Let me tell you a backstory of what actually happened, because I do know what happened. So yeah, I really I've always wanted to get a piercing. I know that sounds cliche, but I have always wanted to get a piercing because I feel like piercings are cool. They look so pretty on other people and everything, but I just never really got the courage to do it myself. Actually, I do have these piercings right here. Yeah, but this was never my choice. I got this when I was pretty young. I was really young. I don't remember the age, but I was really young. I remember that it was done by my aunt, and they used a needle when I was young. I don't know why they did that to me without my consent. I mean, I was just a baby, but I don't know why they did it. They did it anyway. So yeah. And then as I got older, I also got a piercing at the top, the upper lobe here. And it was painful as hell. It has got to be one of the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my entire life. But yeah, so I just let it close, and that was it. Because sometimes the hair would just get stuck on the earring or whatever, the knob, the studs, and I'll be like, this is so painful. So I just had to let it go. And then as time went by, I just admired piercing from a distance, because it was like, piercings are really painful and I cannot handle that pain. That is why I just never got the piercing. But I think this is day 19. Yeah, I think it's day 19 ever since I got this piercing. And yeah, 19 days ago. Why I got the piercing, I don't know. Actually, it's so weird, because during that time I was having some allergic reactions. Like, I was dealing with so much, especially in terms of my physical body, but mentally I was in a good space. Like, there was nothing crazy that was going on in my life, and it was mostly just the physical. I was having these on and off allergic reactions, and I was just so tired of it. So I just found something to divert that attention to. I don't know, it's so weird, but I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to have to be dealing with my physical. I don't want to have to be doing that, because it was so annoying, especially that I didn't know what I was allergic to. It's so weird, because my nostrils were blocked all the time, and I decided to get a piercing right on the septum, which is, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I just did it because I've always wanted to get a piercing, and also I just didn't want to deal with the physical pain. I wanted a better physical pain to deal with, which is contradicting itself. But yeah, I just wanted a different pain to deal with, apart from the allergic reactions, because it was really stressful. I was having sinuses, my nostrils were blocked all the time, I had difficulty breathing and all of that. So I was just like, you know what, let me deal with something else. That's pretty much why I got it. It ain't that deep, but yeah, it is what it is. A few days before I got the piercing, I was talking to my sister about it, like, oh my goodness, I love this piercing, I would love to get it. I just didn't know that I was going to get it sooner, really. And also there was this girl on my Instagram, her name is Denise. I'll put her up here. She also has a YouTube channel. So she got the piercing, and she showed a short clip of her getting the piercing on IG. So I was like, actually, this doesn't look too painful, so I can get it as well. And then I texted her asking her about the pain and how long it's gonna take to heal. Yeah, I think that's the question that got me. And then she was like, 2 months or something. Was like, nope, I'm not dealing with pain for 2 months, especially for just the mere piercing. I'm not doing that. I was like, nope, cancelled, I'm not doing it. And then that is when I started not feeling well physically, and then I was just like, you know what, I might as well just take it. So yeah, that is pretty much what happened. Even when I was talking to my sister about it, it was the previous night, and then the following day, boom, hey, I got a piercing. She was like, wow, that was quick. In terms of my experience, how was it? I went there. It was so random. I just woke up one morning and I just went to get the piercing. was not even in the morning, but I kind of told somebody like to get a second opinion, like, yo, I really want to get a piercing. And they were like, actually, I think it will look good on you. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and do it. So that evening, I went to get the piercing done. I was somewhat shaking a little bit because of the language barrier. They speak Chinese. My Chinese is somewhat limited. So yeah, I just walked in. The guy was pretty nice, really, and just telling me that it's not really that painful. And yeah, I sat down. But the funny thing was that I was like, is there a counseling session before we do this or not? But they were really calming. They were calming, like, no, it's okay, you're gonna be fine, just relax and all of that. There was one guy who was like measuring the piercings and everything, like to see which one is gonna fit better with my nose. Yeah. So when they were doing that, I was like, are you starting? Have you started yet? I was just jumpy and all of that because I was super anxious about what was gonna happen. And the fact that I was not ready, because I would want somebody to warn me when they're about to start, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they were like, no, we haven't started yet, just chill, we're just trying to measure the whole thing. And actually I wanted a smaller one, but they said that it's better to get a bigger one. Yeah, in terms of the piercing, it would also somewhat be better for the healing process, because if it's too tight and too small, then it's going to disturb the whole healing process. So yeah, they just gave me what they gave me. This one, I actually wanted a really smaller one. So yeah, that's what happened. They gave it to me and then they pierced it. Ooh. Yeah, and that was it. It was actually short, really. It wasn't too long. And I was cheery a little bit. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then I paid 200 yuan and then I went home. So the kind of negative experience that I had with it is that this tiny ball right here, you can see that there's two, oh, that sounds wrong. There's two balls, yeah. There's two balls, yeah, let me say it again. And the other one, it kind of fell off because I don't know if it's because I was wearing a mask or what. So he told me to like screw it back inside, but I should make sure that I don't lose it. And then it was just falling the whole entire time. So I had to go back and have it screwed back in. And I went back to the dormitory, and then when I got there, it fell off again. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is happening? So in the morning, I went there to get it screwed back in, but now it hasn't fallen yet. So that is the only negative experience. Day one, this is how my night went. I found out that I had a gig the following day. Yeah, things is somewhat always short notice. Yeah, you just 1 minute you're here and the next, yo, can you come for a gig? Like, okay. But I had a piercing and I was somewhat worried because I thought that they would have a problem with it. Yeah, I was really anxious because once you remove it, you cannot put it back on, especially when it's still, you cannot. You just have to let it be there for some time so that it's that hole, you know, because this is just a wound and then it needs to like open up so that you can be able to put it back on. But day one, it's still not a hole yet. So yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to lose my piercing. I just got it. And I was actually super excited. I had something else to deal with instead of that physical pain, the allergies and everything. Yeah, so I got to the gig and they just told me that it's okay, I don't need to take it out. And I was like, yay, I get to keep my piercing. But yeah, day one, that was the first night, right? And also in terms of sleeping, yo, it's so funny because I didn't get to do my research at all. Nothing at all. But after getting the piercing, that is when I got onto the internet, like searched about the septum piercing and the pros and the cons. I was like, but I already got it, why are you asking about the pros and the cons? I mean, you already have it. So like as I was doing my tiny little digging, they were saying that you need to make sure that you don't bump into stuff. So I was a little anxious when going to bed. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to sleep with this on? But then my normal sleeping position is that I lay on my back and then I turn my head to the side because I somewhat suffer from sleep paralysis, lady and all of that. Yeah, a whole topic for another day. So that is just how I sleep on a normal day. But yeah, it was a lot easier for me because that is the same way how I slept. And I was somewhat super conscious though in my sleep, like, oh my goodness, make sure that you don't bump into anything. But I slept really well in the following morning. I was just okay. I found out that I need to like use sea salt water solution. Yeah. And there's many other things, but most of the YouTubers really were just vouching for sea salt water being the best, and that's the route that I went with. Make sure that it's sea salt, not any other salt. I don't know why, but that is what the internet says. Yeah, sea salt. But you know, my peers had told me that just live it. That's what he told me. Yeah, like just live it. Yeah, but I did a little bit of research on the internet, and this is what I would do. I would take 1 tablespoon of sea salt water. I put it into a bottle, like a water bottle, a small one, and then I pour hot boiling water from a kettle. I pour it just a little bit. You know, when you do that, one side is gonna shrink, right? And then I pour it on the other side, shrink, so that I balance it out and it becomes thinner. And then I can just I do this. You get what I'm trying to say. I just pour it on my nostrils, inside my nostrils like that. That is pretty much what I did. But I did that for only 3 days and then I stopped because it wasn't painful at all. It was just like, oh my goodness, what's happening? Yeah, I just got tired. It was tiring having to do all of that, really. I just let it. It's like my peers told me to leave it anyway, so. I also use a Q-tip. I put the Q-tip in the same solution and I just use it on my nose, yeah, to remove the excess residues or whatever. That's pretty much what I do. Not a lot, but for the most part I just leave it alone. So let me get into the questions. One top question that I've been getting is it painful? Guys, this is a whole needle piercing through your skin. Of course it's painful. It's painful, yeah, but it's only painful for like a few seconds. Like the whole thing is just supersonic. It's super fast. You won't even, okay, you're gonna feel it just a little pinch, you know. And the only time it's a lot painful, like I said, is when you bump into things and when you accidentally just touch it or push it, because for the most part you forget that it's there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then there was what inspired it. I've already answered that. I don't know, it was an escape of some sort from the physical pain that I was experiencing. I wanted a better physical pain. Yeah, and I've always wanted to get it, really. I mean, it's cute, let's admit it. It's not? No? Okay. Yeah. And what's the other one? Oh, somebody was like, live your life. And then another one was like, it looks cool. Thank you so much for such compliments. Really appreciated it a lot. Apparently it's easy to hide. Yeah, I haven't tried that really, but apparently it is. You can just flip it up. And I don't like to really mess with it because it's still new. Like, it's easy to hide, especially if you're into a corporate industry and you don't want your bosses to be seeing this, I don't know, whatever side is. Because to me it's just a piercing. I don't really understand why people frown upon this and then this is somewhat okay. Really, it just doesn't make sense. It's just a piercing, it's just an accessory, so just get over it, man. Yeah, anyway. It's easy to hide apparently, and it's not really that painful. This is, I swear that the upper lobe of my ear is more painful than this piercing. So to me, I think it also depends on the pain tolerance, really. But I think, I don't know, I don't know if it's because I can tolerate physical pain more than emotional pain, and maybe that is why I feel like it's not really that painful. But actually it isn't that painful at all. So yeah, that is the one thing. And another thing is that it looks cute, man. Well, at least that's what I think. I think it really looks cute on people. You can be the judge of how it looks on me. So the cons is that it itches a lot, but I'm glad it only started itching a few days into the whole thing. Like later on, it was an instant. That is what I like about it, because I was gonna have a hard time with scratching it, but now I just use a Q-tip to scratch. And I also think it's part of the healing. Like, it's only itchy because it's healing. So yeah, I think that is the only thing that I didn't really quite like about it. Like, it itches a lot. I like a lot. If you have to hide it, you're not ready. If you have to hide it, you are not ready. Don't get it. Yeah, that is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. And also, what is the other tip? Just leave it alone. Yeah, leave it the hell alone. Just leave it the hell out, because if you mess with it, you are likely to get an infection. And also make sure that you use clean hands every time you manipulate the whole thing, especially when you're washing or whatever. Just make sure that your hands are super clean. You don't want any bacteria or germs on that beautiful septum. And I think that's pretty much it really about this piercing. And if you have any questions about it, please make sure that you comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, well, I already know how it looks. Let me know what you think, and let me know what other videos you would like me to put out there. I'm gonna see you in my next video. So cheers, bye bye.